Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the 7th Winter 2020 Tournament Update Part 2. So here we go again, it's another winter update for you, and yes, it's the second part of the 7th winter update. So we released part 1 of the 7th winter update on Sunday, yesterday, and so that's looking at things like sea surface temperature anomalies, what's happening with Eurasian snow cover, what's going on with the hurricane season, and it was a solar special as well. We updated all of our solar trackers and brought you up to date with where we are with the solar cycle, with solar cycle number 25, which we have, of course, begun. We are in the opening stages, the opening year, I suppose, of solar cycle 25. So that's what we did yesterday. For this one, we're going to be looking at analogues. So we're going to be looking at winters that occur early in the new solar cycle. More about that later on in the video. But first of all, we're going to show you the latest in terms of Eurasian snow cover, because there was a big increase, there's a big gain in snow cover between Saturday and Sunday. So I'll explain all of that in a second. But just say, but if you're enjoying winter updates this season, then please can you like the videos. Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you are subscribed to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. It'd be absolutely fantastic if everybody can do that for us. Thank you so much to all of you. And I say a big thank you to Richard, our good friend Richard Trott, for the superlative winter updates gift. Thank you so much, Richard, for the winter updates gift. Everybody loves the winter updates gift this season, so thank you so much to Richard. And also I'm going to say thank you to Terry as well, Terry Scully, who has sorted out all of the relevant years for us for these solar analogues. Again, more about that later on. But thanks so much to Richard, thanks so much to Terry, thank you so much to James as well for all of the updated trackers in part 1. Right, so just say that this video will be placed on Winter Updates page on Tuesday morning with written summary at GavsWeatherVids.com. So you'll be able to have a read of that, watch video on demand whenever you would like to do that. I think that's pretty much everything I'm going to tell you. Sit back, relax, get yourself a cup of tea and a comfy chair and maybe some nibbles, and we will go through the 7th Winter 2020 update part 2 for you right now. And as I say, for this one, we are actually going to start off with Eurasian snow cover. So this is the chart that we used for part 1 of the 7th update from, this was from Friday, the 16th of October, Friday, October the 16th. We did have quite a considerable amount of snow cover then. But the latest chart for Saturday the 17th of October shows a major gain. Look at that, the difference from Friday the 16th through to Saturday the 17th. Very significant gain, with snow line pushing into almost into western parts of Russia actually, and a big increase across northern parts of Scandinavia as well. Again, that's Friday the 16th. That's Saturday the 17th. Very significant increase in snow cover between the 2 days. And so I thought we would bring you up to date on this. When I record the videos around 10:30 on a Saturday evening, you know, the chart for the Saturday at the National Ice and Snow Data Centre has not updated at that point. So, I mean, I could hang around and hang on until it does update for the Saturday, but the later I record, the later I get the video processed, the later I get the video uploaded, and so, you know, I have to get on with it, really. I have to get on with recording no later than around 10 o'clock on a Saturday evening, I'm afraid. So sometimes get a little bit caught out by this. Usually it works out okay, but occasionally we do get this kind of big increase from like the Saturday through from like the Friday chart through to the Saturday chart, which we don't get until Sunday. So very occasionally I get a little bit caught out. This is one of those occasions, and so I wanted to bring you up to date with how this is looking. So let's go through the archives again then. So we established in part 1 of the 7th Winter Update that we're probably around average really for Russian snow cover, and probably lagging behind a little bit for Scandinavian snow cover, or we was up to part 1. But let's see how things are looking now, shall we? So this is the 17th of October October 2019. So I think we can say that we are very clearly and quite significantly ahead of 2019 for Russian snow cover. We are probably quite closely matched for Scandinavian snow cover. That's 2018, so we are ahead of 2018 for Scandinavian snow cover as of the 17th of October. And we are ahead also for Russian snow cover as well. Right, let's carry on. So this is the 17th of October 2017. How are we looking there? So we are ahead of 2017 for Scandinavian snow cover and also for Russian snow cover as well. That's 2016. How does that compare? So I think you're probably ahead of 2016 for, let's have a look again, for Scandinavian, and probably quite close for Scandinavian snow cover, and probably quite closely matched for Russian snow cover, although the areas that are covered are somewhat different this year compared to 2016. That's 2015, so ahead of 2015 for Scandinavian snow cover, probably a little bit behind though for Russian and Siberian snow cover. That's 2014. What do you think about that one? So I think we're probably quite closely matched for Scandinavian snow cover, and we're probably a little bit behind 2014 for Russian snow cover. That is 2013, so clearly we are well ahead for, whoops, that wasn't supposed to happen. Clearly we are well ahead of 2013 for Scandinavian snow cover, and we're probably quite closely matched for Russian snow cover. That is 2012, so we are, let's have a look at that one, we are lagging behind 2012 for Scandinavian snow cover, and we are well behind for Russian snow cover as well. We are well ahead, I should say, for Russian snow cover. So we're let's do that again. We are ahead for Russian snow cover, and we are ahead for Scandinavian snow cover this year, 2012. It's been a very, very long day, a very long weekend as well. It's been an amazing weekend. I hope you enjoyed all of the content that we've had this weekend at GavsWeatherVids. It's been the most incredible weekend for GavsWeatherVids that I have ever known. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. So yeah, back on to the subject. We are ahead, Scandinavian and Russian snow cover this year to 2012, significantly so. Also, we're ahead for 2011 as well. We are ahead of Scandinavian and Russian snow cover for 2011 and also for 2010. We're doing really well for Scandinavian snow cover, aren't we? And we're doing pretty well compared to a lot of these years for Russian snow cover as well, up to 17th of October. That's 2009. So we are well ahead of 2009 for Russian snow cover. For Scandinavian snow cover, we're probably a little bit behind the Scandinavian snow cover. What happened in 2009 is that was a very early build of snow cover across Scandinavia, but it took a long time to build it up across Russia. That was a very unusual season. This is 2008, so we are well ahead of 2008 for Scandinavian snow cover, and we are also well ahead of 2008 for Russian snow cover as well. That is 2007. What do you think about 2007? So yeah, I think we're ahead of 2007 Scandinavian and also Russian snow cover. That is 2006. We're well ahead of this year Scandinavian snow cover. Probably a little bit behind for Russian snow cover. That's 2005. Well ahead this year for both Scandinavian and also for Russian snow cover compared to 2005. That's 2004. We're well ahead for Scandinavian snow cover for 2004. Probably a little bit behind 2004 for Russian snow cover. Maybe quite closely matched shown. That's 2003. Well ahead of 2003 for both Scandinavian and also for Russian snow cover this year. That's 2002, so we're behind 2002 for Russian snow cover, and probably a little bit ahead, though, for Scandinavian snow cover at this point. That is 2001, ahead for both Russian and also Scandinavian snow cover for 2001 this year. That is 2000, we're ahead of 2000 as well. So we're doing really well now for snow cover. That was a big old build-up that we got there from the 16th to 17th of October. That's 1999. We were well ahead of 1999 for both Russian and also Scandinavian snow cover. And then finally, that is 1998. So again, we are well ahead of 1998 for Scandinavian snow cover, and we're ahead for Russian snow cover as well. We are not doing too badly at all, I'm sure you will agree. And yeah, so very exciting developments there on the 17th of October, and that's why I wanted to start part 2 of the 7th winter update, bringing you up to date with what is going on. There are only a handful of years there that are ahead of us for Russian snow cover at this point now, and I don't think there's any years really, or very few anyway, that that have more snow cover across Scandinavia at this point. So we've done really well there from the 16th to 17th of October. We will bring you up to date with that again in part 1 of the 8th Winter 2020 update, which will be releasing on Sunday, this coming Sunday. And with that one, we're going to go right way back through the archives, all the way back to the 1960s. So it will be a Eurasian, Russian, Scandinavian snow cover special, I think, for the 8th Winter 2020 update. Well, I'm going to pause the video there, and then when we return, we're going to go through our analogues, which of course is what part 2 is really for. Part 2 is primarily for the analogues. So we shall be looking at analogues for winters occurring early in the new solar cycles, and that will be with you after a break. I shall see you in around 2 seconds time. See you soon. Okay, we're back. We're ready to resume the 7th Winter 2020 update part 2. If you're enjoying this video, then please give us a like. Let us know in the comments what you think, and make sure you subscribe to the GavsWeatherVids YouTube channel. It'd be absolutely fantastic if everybody can do that for GavsWeatherVids. So yeah, now we're going to get on with the analogues, which is of course what part 2 of these winter updates is really set aside for. So let's do this then and show you the analogues data. It's going to be very interesting, I think. So this is how the solar disk is looking on our side of this today from solarham.net, and you can see that I've got a couple of sunspot regions. So we've got a sunspot region just here, and we've got something coming on to the far sort of eastern limb of the solar disk as well over there. So activity is at very low levels though, and is expected to remain at very low levels for the next 3 days. So in part 1 of the 7th Winter 2020 update, we established that we have begun solar cycle number 25. Very weak start to solar cycle number 25. We've established that. So the start of solar cycle 25 is very much in line with the start of solar cycle 24, the previous solar cycle, one that's just left. And that was a very slow, very slow start to solar cycle 24, and it took a long time to take off. So the first year or two of solar cycle 24 had very weak activity, and we seem to be seeing something very similar with the start of solar cycle number 25, with a very slow beginning to this solar cycle. Nevertheless, we are at the beginning of solar cycle number 25, and so what we're going to show you for our analogues is winters that occur at the beginning of the new solar cycle. Now, it can be very difficult to ascertain when a solar cycle actually ends and when one begins. So with some of these solar cycles, we've got one winter, the first winter of those solar cycles. Other winters, we've got the first 2 winters of the solar cycles. All of these winters have been suggested by Terry Scully, who has sorted all of this out for us. And thank you so much to Terry Scully for sorting out all of these winters for us. Winters that Terry thinks are relevant for our current position in the beginning of this solar cycle. So most of these are like one winter into solar cycle. Some of them are a couple of winters into the solar cycle. And again, Terry has sorted all of these out for us. So big big thank you to my good friend Terry Scully for sorting all of this out. Terry's the maestro. Really is a maestro when it comes to solar and lunar and all of that kind of stuff in long-range forecasting. Thank you so much to Terry. Right, so let's bring you the data then, shall we? Let's do this, shall we? So our first winter occurring early in a new solar cycle is a winter of 1843-1844. This one has blocking in the North Atlantic and going up towards Greenland, blocking area of high pressure with below average heights, low pressure across northern and western Europe. The jet stream is doing something a little bit like that. So this looks like it would be a cold winter for 1843-1844 and bringing in a north to northeasterly flow. Our next winter occurring early in the new solar cycle is winter of 1855-1856. This one also looks like it will be a cold winter with high pressure up towards Greenland and low pressure is underneath that blocking area of high pressure with the jet stream going on a northwest southeast alignment and probably bringing in winds from an easterly direction. That looks like it will be a cold and wintry winter in 1855 to 1856. Our next winter occurring early in a new solar cycle is 1867, I should say, 1868. This one looks milder. This is our first milder winter with low pressure up to the north. High pressure is to the southwest. Winds are in from a westerly direction. There is some non-blocking, but it is much reduced non-blocking. So this is a milder winter. So just going to show that early in the new solar cycle, not every winter is cold. Some of them are mild, and that is definitely a milder one for 1867, 1868. The following winter was even milder though, because 1868, 1869 is of course the mildest winter on record. Now this one is very cold. This winter, again occurring early in the new solar cycle, is 1878, 1879. This is a severe winter. So this one, again, with a deep trough of low pressure across Western Europe, blocking to the north of that over Greenland and back into the Arctic. Jet stream is pushed southwards. The jet is pushed southwards, and we will be pulling in like very cold east or northeasterly winds. So this is a severely cold and very snowy winter for 1878, 1879, and it does occur early in solar cycle number 12. We've got another winter from that solar cycle as well. This is 1879, 1880. So as I say, some of these we've got 2 winters, others, most of them are just 1 winter. This one is a much more anticyclonic winter. It is still quite a cold winter, but it's much more anticyclonic. Blocking is reduced a lot in this winter of 1879, 1880. I think the coldest weather with this winter is early on, and then it gets a little bit milder later. Overall, it's a dry and still quite cold winter for 1879, 1879, 1880. Then we've got 1890, 1891 showing up next. This contains the coldest December on CET record, of course, although the December to remember in 2010 but got very close to it. But as it is within the CET, 1890 is the coldest December on record. This one has high pressure sitting over to the east of the country, and we're bringing in those winds from an east direction. That's another cold winter, especially so early on. It gets milder later, I think, but early on in winter of 1890, 1891, it is very cold. Also quite a dry winter. This is 1902 at 1903. Again, another winter occurring early in a new solar cycle. This one is milder, with high pressure sitting over and to the south of the country. Low pressure is up to north. Is anybody keeping track on the winters that are cold versus winters that are mild within this analogues package? Let me know in the live chat, and also, of course, let me know in the comments. This one is definitely a milder winter. Low pressure is out to the northwest, high pressure is to the south of the country and southwest. Winds are up from a southwesterly direction. Then we've got 1913, 1914. This again is another milder winter. Has high pressure to the east, low pressure is to the west. Rather in between, but nothing there to suggest anything particularly cold. That is another mild and quite wet winter, I think, for 1913. 1914, and this is another rather milder winter. This is 1923, 1924. Now, for parts of Western Europe, it's actually a very cold winter occurring early in the new solar cycle. So, like through Central Europe, this is a really cold winter. For us in the UK, we're actually on the periphery of the cold weather. It's generally quite a mildish winter, but the cold isn't all that far away. The cold is where we got this trough through here across Central and the eastern parts of Europe. But as it is, it's a relatively mild winter again for 1923 to 1924. This one is 1933, 1934, again occurring early in a new solar cycle. So this one has quite a cold December, and it's anti-cyclonic. This is a very dry winter with a lot of high pressure centered over the top of the country. No particular northern blocking with this one, but it does have quite a lot of cold weather under that persistent area of high pressure, and December 1933 is a particularly cold month. 1944, 1945 is our next winter occurring early in a new solar cycle. This one has higher pressure out to the west, lower pressure is to the east of the country, winds are in from the north. This is a very interesting winter because it contains a severely cold January, actually, and an exceptionally mild February. So a really strange winter for 1944, 1945, the last winter of the Second World War, of course. Back to an outright cold winter for 1954, 1955. This is our next winter occurring early in a new solar cycle. This one with below average heights across northern and western parts of Europe, blocking around Greenland. Obviously with this, the wind is favoured to be in from the north to northeast. So this is a cold winter. January and February 1955 are cold and wintry months. December 1954 is relatively mild, but around New Year the cold strikes, and the rest of that winter of 1954-1955 is very cold indeed. Then we have 1964-1965. This one is a bit of a late starter as well, but it's a cold winter overall with below average heights again across the northwest of Europe, blocking out into the Atlantic, high pressure out into the North Atlantic and heading up towards Greenland as well. Winds are in from a north to northeasterly direction. So yeah, 1964, 1965 is also another cold and wintry winter, especially later on. So again, December of 1964, relatively mild. January, February, March 1965, things just get colder and colder and colder. Let's carry on then. So our next winter occurring early in a new solar cycle is winter of 76, 1977. This one again, we see significant amounts of northern blocking, don't we? Lots of high pressure within the northern latitudes up towards Greenland and extending back into the Arctic. We've got low pressure underneath that blocking across Western Europe, jet streams push southwards, and of course it's a severely cold winter into the east of America, by the way. So this is one of the coldest winters on record for eastern parts of America. Extraordinarily cold, brutal cold for eastern America. For us in the UK, like, it has a cold December and January, quite cold as well, and then it gets much milder as we progress on into February. So this is what we call a front-loaded winter, cold earlier and then mild later, with winter of 76, 77. Now this is an interesting one. This is 78, 79, and so this is actually occurring a little bit later on in the solar cycle. Later on than we are with this current solar cycle, but Terry wanted this to be included. He's very specific about us including this because it has a very, very close lunar assist, which is something that I have never spoken about within winter updates before. But as Terry sorted all of these years out for us, I wanted to include this because Terry was very, Terry was very insistent that 78-79 is very close to the current year for lunar assist. I will have to get Terry to explain what lunar assist is, probably in a written post on Terry's page at some point in the future. But Terry was very specific that we include 78-79 within this package of analogues. And of course, this is how the winter of 78-79 looks, with low pressure to the south and the jet stream on a southerly track as well, blocking around Greenland, blocking area of high pressure up towards Greenland. In come the easterly winds in 78-79. It's a very cold winter. It's a winter of discontent, severely cold. The last time we had a sub-zero CET for January was January 1979. Copious amounts of snow in this winter as well. So yeah, and Terry was very insistent that 78-79 has a close lunar assist to the winter of 2020-21, and this should be included within this package of analogues. Right, another cold winter is 86-87. These analogues are very, very interesting, aren't they? If you want a cold winter, my word. So this one has high pressure blocking to our north, and got low pressure across northern parts of Europe as well. Winds are in from the east. It has a mild start. December 1986 is very mild, but January 1987, particularly around the middle part of the month, is extremely cold, and the cold spell that occurs around the 13th, 14th, 15th of January 1987 is possibly the coldest single spell of weather that we have had in the UK since 1740, like the lowest temperatures in the UK since 1740. It is possible that it is. It's another cold winter overall, occurring early in a new solar cycle. Then we have 1996, 1997. This one is not as exciting. It has below average heights centered over to the east of the country, above average heights, I should say, centered over and to the east country, below average heights to southwest, and also away to the northeast. This is a very strange winter, and the analogue there doesn't really tell you a great deal about this winter. So the early part of winter of 96, 97 is cold, has a very cold spell around Christmas and New Year through the first half of January, and then the second half of winter goes very mild. So it's another one of those situations where it's front-loaded. The coldest weather is early on, particularly around Christmas and New Year, and then later on gets much milder with a very mild February after a cold early winter. And then we have 2008-2009. So this is the first of a cluster of cold winters that occurred from 08, 09 to 12, 13. This one with above average heights, high pressure sitting to our north, below average heights sitting to our south. It's like the first winter, if you like, of solar cycle 24. Winds are in from an easterly direction. It's not continuously cold, but it does have plenty of cold weather in it, especially so during the first half of February 2009. And then we go through to 2009, 2010. So it's another one of the situations where we have two winters early on in solar cycle 24. This one much stronger with the blocking, of course, for 09-10. Look how much stronger that northern blocking is up towards Greenland. Classic northern blocking up there with the below average heights running in underneath it along the southerly track jet stream. You know, that is a classically cold looking pattern for 2009, 2010, and that is our coldest winter. I think that's the coldest winter since 1979 for large portions of the country. And that's the last one, of course, because now that brings us up to the beginning of solar cycle number 25. Very interesting package of analogues, I'm sure you will agree. Right, let's bring all of that together then. So this is how all Decembers combined are looking with winters early in the new solar cycle. Looks cold, doesn't it? Below average heights sitting to our south and east, above average heights out to the north and to the northwest, winds tending to be in from more of an east to northeasterly direction. So cold weather and wintry weather favoured for those Decembers occurring early in the new solar cycle. But it gets even more interesting. It's how all Januaries combined are looking for Januaries, again, for winters, and Januaries early in the new solar cycle. So again, we've got the below average heights favoured to be to the south of the country, blocking up to the north. Blocking is rich, getting colder out of the pole down to mid latitudes, of course. Winds in from the east. So yes, those Januaries are looking potentially to be favouring very cold and wintry conditions. This is how all Februaries combined are looking. The blocking reduces in February, so it is still there to some degree, sitting up towards Greenland and Iceland. However, overall, you see lower pressure is taking over. There is some cold and wintry potential with these Februaries due to the blocking being there, but I think out of the 3 winter months, February is probably the one that could favour, at times anyway, going a little bit milder. So maybe these analogues do favour slightly a rather front-loaded winter for cold weather. However, the blocking then increases in March. This is how all Marches combined are looking early in the new solar cycle. Look at this, the blocking increases in March, and although we do have the below average heights across Western and Northern Europe, again, I think there's perhaps slightly stronger potential for the Marches to be a little bit colder, if anything. And then all winters combined. Now look at this. Wow, look at that. This is how all winters combined are looking early in the solar cycle. And look at that blocking that we see there over Greenland and back into the Arctic. If that isn't favouring a cold winter, I don't know what would be. So the low pressure and the jet stream plunging south, actually absolutely plunging southwards, and winds favoured to be in from the east. Bear in mind, December and January have the strongest cold potential, a little bit less so for February, but that is definitely favouring a cold winter early in the new solar cycle. What about if we narrow things down to more recent winters? So let's exclude everything before 1950. So this is how all winters combined are looking, or Decembers I should say, it's how all Decembers combined are looking early in the new solar cycle, post 1950. Makes very little difference for all Decembers combined. We still favour lots and lots of northern blocking. We still favour high pressure within the northern latitudes from Greenland to northern Scandinavia, with low pressure underneath that blocking across Western Europe. Winds favoured to be in from an east to northeast direction. Cold and wintry December is favoured early in the new solar cycle, post 1950. All Januaries combined, again, makes no difference if we narrow things down to just the years after 1950. But blocking is still there up towards Greenland. Jet stream is still there to the south of the country. Line for low pressure as well. Winds still fade to be in from the east. Cold and wintry conditions favoured in January overall. Early in new solar cycle post 1950. All Februaries combined, possibly, maybe surprisingly so, all Februaries combined post 1950, early in the new solar cycle, possibly has a stronger signal for cold. I think the blocking is stronger post 1950 for cold around Greenland. I think the blocking is stronger there post 1950 than it is like for the full analogues package for February. So again, we shove the jet stream southwards, don't we, with the low pressure as well. What an extraordinary set of analogues these are, and favour to bring in easy winds in these Februaries post 1950. All Marches combined post 1950 are looking like that. So again, blocking is favoured to be to the north country, lower pressure down to the south, winds favoured to be in from the east. Those Marches could be cold and wintry. And then, of course, we've got all winters combined post 1950, early in the new solar cycle. So overall, the package of analogues is very much favouring a cold winter here. From a solar perspective, we favour a cold winter. We send the jet stream southwards. We have the blocking up to the north. We have the high pressure blocking up to the north. Winds are favoured to be in from an easterly direction with these winters. And yeah, it doesn't get more clear cut for cold. It does not get any more clear cut for cold than what we see here with these winters occurring early in the new solar cycle. I think out of all the analogues that we've done so far in this season of winter updates, these are quite clearly, quite honestly, the strongest in favour of the cold winter. Again, though, that's not to say that all of them are cold, because we know, and the reason I think that actually the post-1950 winters have an even stronger signal for cold is that we know that early in the 20th century we do have a run of milder winters occurring around the beginning of solar cycles. So like the first winters of the 20th, the first winters of the solar cycles early in the 20th century, like in the teens of the 1920s, they are not as well set up for cold as like the later winters in the 20th century, which is quite interesting. But overall, this is quite clearly the strongest set of analogues that we have had within this season of winter updates for a colder than average winter. So from a solar perspective, purely on its own, though, we have to factor in everything out, but from a solar perspective, quite clearly, we are favouring a cold winter this year. Very, very interesting. Just say that if you have enjoyed this video, and if you're enjoying winter updates on GavsWeatherVids at the moment, then please can you click like on all of the videos. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the comments what you think, and don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. We are on the grind to 8K, and the subs are moving very, very quickly now. So yes, please click like on the videos, subscribe. Tell us in the comments what you think. Make sure you tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. If everyone who subscribes brings a friend, we will get to 8K subs so much quicker. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. So that is it. That is the 7th Winter 2021 update done and dusted. I hope you have enjoyed. What an extraordinary set of analogues we have there for these solar winters. Absolutely incredible, and clearly, as I say, from a solar perspective, we very much favour a colder than average winter being at the beginning of the solar cycle. This video will be placed on, and you're going to find out, by the way, at the beginning of the 8th winter update, how this has changed the swingometer. Will we get a further swing from mild to cold, and will this take the swingometer into favouring a colder than average winter? You will find that out at the beginning of Sunday's 8th Winter 2021 update part 1. King of Swing, Richard Shaw, I've got his cruncher numbers with his supercomputer, but you will see at the beginning of the 8th Winter 2021 update part 1 how this has changed the swingometer, and if it has managed to to produce a further swing from mild to cold. Right, this winter, what am I talking about? It's very late, I'm very tired. This video will be placed on the winter updates page with a written summary going over everything that we discussed in the video, and I shall get one up for you tomorrow morning, Tuesday morning, so you'll be able to watch the video on demand, whatever you want to do about GavsWeatherVids.com, and have a read of written summary. Video will be kept at YouTube as well, indefinitely, of course, and so you'll be able to watch a video on demand. It is a very, very interesting video, and I think people will be watching this for a long time to come. Right, so that's it for the 7th Winter 2020 update. 8th Winter update, now over the halfway point, by the way. So we have gone past the halfway point of winter updates. We are now moving to the business end of the winter updates. And so the 8th Winter 2020 update part 1 will be released on Sunday. And it's going to be fantastic. So I shall see you, of course, for the 8th Winter update on Sunday. Thank you so much for watching and for being here during this very, very historic weekend of updates at GavsWeatherVids. For this video, that's all for now. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.